SL500. I've removed all the plastic covers, and you can see here the catalytic converters. I'm going to be removing this exhaust. It's up there buried away to the manifold. You've got one either side. Okay, one up there as well, and this big thing goes all the way to the back. Excuse me. You've got another set of kind of mid cats there. You have a another mount here for the exhaust, and back we go underneath, following the pipes all the way back to the back boxes, which are held underneath another piece of plastic which I haven't removed yet, which I will do. The first thing you do need to remove are these metal struts here, these little brace bars, whatever you call them. This thing here, there are 4 of them actually, 2 on either, 2 at the rear and 1 front there. Okay, goes across and goes across there. There they are. So I've removed the back bolt on the support brace at the front. There is another bolt there midway, and then you have this plastic cover here right at the front of the engine, just underneath where near the radiator, and this has a plastic cover on, which is a bit tight to get off. If you prise it off, under there is another bolt which puts both of them together. Now when you remove these, I am not using a power tool, because if you do use a power tool, I'm just going to use a hand ratchet. It's not difficult to undo really. If you use a power tool on there, and I've done this before, and if you go and basically mess it up and chew through the actual grooves in the bolt, then you have to cut it off, and that takes a long time with a grinder and really not worth the hassle. Okay, it's 13mm bolt there on the manifold. Get your 13 long reach. Now make sure it's a real good fit before you press, because if you don't want to round it, push it hard, and there it comes, and now it's off. Okay, and then you say it's not fully out, and be careful of the weight of this catalytic converter. You don't want it falling on you, so make sure it's all out. Which it is, okay, and we'll wobble around, okay. Now each catalytic converter has 2 sensors, and they are plugged into these here, these little sockets here, and they're held on by metal clips, so you can just pull them out, okay. Okay, remove them, and then you see the other one is under here, all covered in grease. So these all come out, and the other one is in there. So you've got 4 connectors that need to be released before the exhaust systems can come down. So they just pull apart. Okay, so once they're pulled apart, they're coming down. Some easier than the others. The cables are actually wrapped around some form of little metal clips, so you've got to feed them, push them around, unravel them, and you can see up here, get the light, sorry, you can see there's another, can you see it? No, you can't. There you go, there is another place for it to unclip. Okay, so the catalysts basically at the manifold have been disconnected, and the thing will wobble. Now we've got a mounting plate here to remove, and I do believe it's just 4 bolts, okay, all size 13 that need to come off, and then at the rear it will just be held on via rubber mounts on the back boxes. So now time to remove these 4. Okay, so plate removed. And if you can see, this far in, sorry about the accessibility, I'm on my back here, you can see that's been removed and the whole thing is starting to wobble. So what we've got now to do is go to the rear of the vehicle and work on the rear boxes. So at the rear of the vehicle, I've removed the arch guard thing from the rear. there is the back box here. Still got the bumper on the vehicle. We look underneath, follow the pipe round. The rear boxes, or the rear section, sorry, is supported by one rubber kind of mount here, and then another is directly, there's the tailpipe. Sorry, here's the tailpipe. Here, if you follow the tailpipe under the bumper, you can see hidden under there is not an easy to reach rubber mount. So if you can see that under there, it's right with the bumper. Now, you might be thinking it'd be easier to remove the bumper. Well, if you've got one of them cool little tools which go up there, like a long reach tool to unmount, no, that's fine. Okay, so I've removed the bumper just because I had to anyway, and for ease of this video really, just to show you where the final mounting point for the back boxes are. Okay, so there is a rubber section here holding on. Okay, you can do this with the bumper on, but it's quite difficult. I wouldn't really want to, and to be honest, I've never changed one, so I don't know how difficult a job it is. So now, okay, the rubber mount here can be removed with these two bolts here, which I think are 13. So that can remove the first rubber mount, which is behind the rear wheel, one either side. The other side is here and has the same similar configuration. Right, them two brackets have been removed, and now this whole exhaust is just hanging from one final mounting point here with this rubber thing. Now obviously I could push and push and push this, lubricate this, and this can fall out. This should push through here and leave the rubber behind. I could do that. I would do that if you wanted to replace them, but I might just cut through this anyway. Didn't need to cut it. It's still shaking. Now it's all off. It will just push through, relatively straightforward. Put a little force on the pipe, pull it off. Do not be underneath it, okay? All right, or support it properly. I've just got a floor which isn't too far down, and now I have the whole exhaust system removed, and now I'm going to remove it from underneath the vehicle. And there you go, it's out. One full exhaust system. Takes up a bit of room. Two muffler boxes held on with a bracket, joined together. A couple of mid cats, silencers, whatever. And then your front two cats with your manifold, will connect to the manifolds. Weighs quite a bit. I wouldn't like to put it back together again.